Such a pleasure to speak with you. I love the movie, M3GAN. It was so fun. And Cady is such an interesting role. What stood out the most about her exploring grief? Because that had to be such a interesting aspect to explore, and it's all a huge part of her storyline.
Yeah, getting to play Katie was really fun. I got to explore a lot of different emotions because I got to be like happy, I got to be sad, I got to be crazy angry, which was really fun. And I also it was really fun getting to develop a relationship with M3GAN, but getting to play Katie was definitely really fun.
Yeah, and M3GAN's just surpassed everybody's expectations. It's been a huge hit. I'm sure you get recognized a lot more. How has it sort of changed your day to day?
It's been really fun. I love it when people come up to me and they just tell me that they loved M3GAN so much, and it just makes me really happy when they say like they like some of them actually give me like gifts, like they give me bracelets, and I wear those bracelets all the time, by the way. And it just makes me so happy when they tell me that they loved the movie.
That's so sweet. And you got to work with the great Allison Williams. She plays your aunt in the movie. How was it sort of working with her as a scene partner? She's such a professional.
I loved working with Allison so much. She is so nice and super funny. And we both had like kind of the same personality, which I feel like that's why we got along really well. And she just felt she's such an amazing, talented actor. And I really hope that I can work with her again if she plays my mom, my aunt again. And that's why I'm really excited to work with her again and M3GAN too.
Yeah, that's so exciting. And there's so many memorable scenes within M3GAN. So I was curious if you had a favorite one that really sticks out when you just think about filming.
Well, I have like two favorite scenes. So the first one was definitely like even though I was not in the scene, but M3GAN's iconic dance, I was so shocked when I saw I was like, oh, they're giving her a dance. But it was so amazing, and I love how viral it got on TikTok. And my second favorite scene was probably filming when I had the gloves and I got to control Bruce. That was one of my favorite scenes because I felt like a superhero. And even though it wasn't like all happening in front of me when I was controlling him, I just had to imagine it in my head, and it looked so amazing when I saw it all finished on screen.
And then, like, thematically, M3GAN's so interesting because it examines how we interact with technology and how we get attached to technology. Has that made you think about your own usage? Has your parents maybe restricted your screen time? And how has that gone?
Well, I mean, I'm not on my iPad that much. Usually I'm just doing school and hanging out with my family. But usually if I'm on my iPad, I'm either playing like games with my siblings or things like that. But I'm not too attached.
That's good. And I know you and M3GAN's physical actor, Amie, became close friends during filming. How great was it that you got to come up with that friendship, almost similar to what we see on screen, where the bond between M3GAN and Cady?
It was so fun working with Amie. Like, she is so sweet and super talented. And on lunch breaks, we would always hang out with each other. And there was this like huge area, open area with this stage and a bunch of like seats up top. And we would always play hide and seek in there. And since we developed a really strong bond in real life, it made it really easy for me to like, because since me and Amie are best friends and M3GAN and Cady are best friends, it really helped when we were filming those kind of scenes.
You've been in several horror movies at this point. What do you enjoy most about working within that genre so far?
It's really fun to be a part of scary movies because it's cool to be a part of something that might actually like scare people and give them nightmares. And just the special effects, the music, and things like that, and all the makeup, the jump scares. It's just really fun to be a part of scary movies.
Does it ever actually like freak you out a bit while filming? I mean, I feel like I would get scared.
Well, I usually don't get that scared because there's a lot of people around me, like the cameraman, the whole crew and everything. So, and it's definitely wasn't scary when I was like working with Amie Donald, but even when she was in the M3GAN costume, because we're like so close. I know there's a very sweet person inside of it. So it was I never really got scared.
And I thought it was so amazing that your siblings are actors as well. I saw your sister in The Black Phone. Are you hoping to work with some of them in the future on the same
It's
project?
it's always been a dream of mine to work with any of my siblings. Like I've done some commercials with like my brothers, but it would be so fun to just work with them on a movie like for a very long time. So that way we could just hang out with each other for a very long time. But it's always been a dream of mine to be in a movie or a show with my siblings.
Yeah, that would be incredible. And as you mentioned, Megan 2.0 has been talked about. How exciting is it that this was such a success and people loved your character so much that they want to see Cady's journey continue?
I love that people are loving it. I think that it's really funny. Like I love Cady so much, and I love that people are calling her like some people are calling her her favorite character, and it makes me so grateful to be a part of such an amazing, iconic film. But it was just really amazing how I was in shock when I like heard how fast M3GAN 2.0 was coming. Like I'm like, oh, already okay. But I'm so excited to work with that whole crew again. But I'm so glad people loved the film so much.
My favorite scene of the movie was when Megan sings Titanium. I thought that was so hilarious. When you filmed that scene, was that always the song in mind, or was it sort of a generic
Yeah,
thing?
it was actually like always the song in mind because they had to have her they had to have the doll lip sync the words. But it was really funny because they at the time they had this like other voice, I think, and sometimes for titanium, like just for like the singing parts, but sometimes it would be like like the director Gerard calling out the lines, and it was really funny. But I just had to stay in character, but it was really funny.
And the marketing for Megan was so incredible. They had all these girls dressing up like the doll in all these public places. How exciting was it that, Universal just went full out with the marketing, and it was such a fun campaign.
I was so happy about this. Like my mom was like scrolling through Instagram and she like showed me this picture of the dolls like at a football game. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I love how they like made them all they actually all blinked at the same time too. And it was like really cool. If I was like someone walking by that, I would actually run away because I'd be terrified. But it would be I love how the marketing like all it was like really cool how they made a bunch of Megans.
Yeah, and Gerard did such a great job directing the movie. What stood out about working with him? And it's so wonderfully fun. It's able to blend that horror with fun in such a great way.
He's just such a good director. He is definitely one of the reasons why M3GAN is an amazing, incredible movie. And he is so funny. I loved working with him so much. And I love his New Zealand accent because all the people I worked with, well, most of them at least, were all had New Zealand accents. And I love those accents so much. I think I'm a fan of accents, but he's just so funny. And I loved working with him. And it would be really fun to have him as my director again in a different film.
Did you learn any fun slang filming in New Zealand? They have a lot of funny words, like instead of McDonald's, they say macas, it's
I
quite
know they like changed a bunch of things like around like they called I can't remember, but there were some things that they were calling like it was different than the other thing. And my mom's like, "Oh, I don't think you would want that." I'm like, "Why?" And then she told me what it was, and I'm like, "Oh." And like before I went to New Zealand, I filmed in London like a pretty long time before that, and they called like fries, I think like chips and like things like that, and they called cotton candy floss, and I was so confused at first. I'm like, "What is that?" And it was really fun though, because I love getting to like explore different like food there and like different places that I travel because that's also some things that I like to do is just try a bunch of different snacks and foods there.
that's incredible. And then my last question for you, you got to be in the Black Widow movie. That had to be so exciting to play a younger version of Florence. How was that?
It was amazing. It was before that, it was always a dream, a big, big dream of mine to be a part of a Marvel film. I could not believe it when they told me I booked it. I was in shock. I literally started crying. I was so happy. And when I got to set and I saw all the amazing like sound stages and I got to meet Scarlett Johansson, which was insane because she was my favorite Marvel like character and I could not believe it. But it was a big dream of mine to just be a part of a Marvel film and when it finally happened, I could not believe it.